Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shakira, and today we'll be talking about the time I found out I had diabetes and also just living with it and how life's been with having diabetes. Okay, so I was around 6 when I found out that I had diabetes. I was at home, obviously, and due to the fact that my older sister actually has diabetes, my mom and my dad was like, hey, why not check everybody else's sugar, because I have 3 sisters altogether, but I have 2 other sisters and they don't have diabetes, but they wanted to make sure because their firstborn, which is my older sister, obviously had diabetes and they didn't know that. So it was like, why not check to make sure that all the other kids are cool and okay, which my other 2 sisters were, but obviously I was not. My sugar was running really high, so they had to take me to the hospital. So although I am going to insert a little clip or a little picture of what diabetes is, I do want to go over it just a little bit, just background knowledge of it. Diabetes has something to do with the pancreas. It's when your pancreas does not make enough insulin, or doesn't make insulin at all, or when your pancreas makes too much insulin. Insulin is something that helps with sugar. So for people who don't live with diabetes, when they eat candy, you know, sweet stuff all the time, your pancreas makes the insulin so that it levels out. So you can sit, I'm not saying you eat a lot or you know what I mean, because you can develop diabetes. It's not just like you're born with it, you can develop it. So you can sit up here and you can eat sugar without worrying about, well, for the most part, without worrying about your pancreas not making enough insulin. If you don't make enough insulin, or you don't make insulin at all, then eating sugar and sitting up here and eating all this candy and sugary drinks does nothing to help your body. Is your pancreas is not gonna make enough insulin to level out all the sugar, and your sugar is gonna run sky high, which is not okay. And also there are 2 types of diabetes. Most younger kids have type 1, and most older people have type 2, but you can have type 2 at a young age. I don't really know too much about type 2 because I have type 1, so I haven't really done research on type 2 because there really is no need for me. I've been living with it for 12 years. I've been living with it for a decade and 2 years so far. So growing up, I had a lot of help because I was younger. I had a lot of help from my mom. I really wasn't doing much on my own. She was coming to my room at night, checking my sugar, giving me shots if my sugar was high, waking me up so I could eat something my sugar was low. So I really didn't have to worry about it as much as I have to do now, because she was there for me. Even when I was at school at a young age, she would come up there for lunch and she would help me with everything. So my mom was always helping me. But obviously, the older I got, the less she started helping me. So that's kind of where my downfall went. I don't know exactly at what age. I wasn't keeping track, anything like that. Okay. So because I don't remember my younger years with having diabetes, I'm going to skip a couple of years. So fast forward, I'm in middle school now, and my mom isn't there. Obviously, I'm older. I need to start doing this on my own. I'm only getting older. You know, I completely understand that. Like, that's for the best. I should be doing it on my own anyways. I'm not complaining too much. Growing up, me and my older sister were so far in age that we were not close. So me growing up, I didn't have anybody around me that had diabetes that had to deal with it. So I was prone to like not taking my medicine and just eating and not checking my sugar and just going on with the day. Wait until like my sugar is really high to want to take some medicine, which is bad. I understand that. But yeah, I grew up around my 2 sisters that was closer to me. I have a twin, and then my other sisters. Growing up around them, they didn't have diabetes. My parents didn't have diabetes. And although my mom knew a lot about diabetes because she had 2 children, she obviously, nobody who doesn't have diabetes knows the struggles of being a diabetic. It was kind of hard growing up because I didn't understand like why why I was the one who had to deal with it and why I was diagnosed with it and why I could not be normal, because I considered not having diabetes at the time being normal, even though I could still do what my sisters was doing and stuff like that. It kind of, I will say having diabetes kind of do put you on the handicap list. Well, not like handicap list, because when people find out you have diabetes, they're like, oh no, can you do this, can you do that? Is that gonna affect your sugar? Is your sugar gonna go high? Is your sugar gonna low? Can you eat that? Can you eat this? Can you drink that? So it was kind of like, if a person didn't know about diabetes, they treated me like I was unable to do stuff like that. It was kind of like people kind of did treat you like you were kind of like in this box, and if you were to eat a little bit of something, then your sugar would like go so high and you would just like fall out and die. Like, that's just how they would treat me. So that was kind of annoying. Due to the fact that I grew up around people who didn't have diabetes and really didn't understand diabetes, I put in my brain that like, in order to be normal, I'm not gonna check my sugar. I'm just gonna pop a piece of candy in my mouth. I'm just gonna drink this. I'm just gonna do that. Worry about the effect later. So that's what I did. I didn't tell anybody that I had diabetes because I didn't want to be seen as weird and stuff like that. Because a lot of people who don't know a disease or a disability or whatever it is will look at it as if like, oh, is that something that I can catch? And I've been asked that before. I've been asked if you can catch diabetes. I've been looked at weird. Some people take it as just, it is what it is, let it go. But other people are just like, can I catch it? So I felt like, well, if I don't tell people, people won't know and people won't look at me weird. People want to be my friend and I won't feel like an outcast. My teacher decided that it would be best for me to tell my class that I had diabetes. I really wasn't for it, but I felt like I need to learn that like I have to live with it like for the rest of my life. I can't like it's gonna be with me. I can't say, oh, I don't want it anymore. I can't snap my fingers and it's gone. I can't just, no amount of insulin that I put into my body is going to change the fact that like you have diabetes. You're going to live with it forever and ever and ever. So I was like, I mean, I guess I was kind of, I'm not even gonna lie, I was kind of forced to do it a little bit. I'm not going to say like, I'm not going to completely blame it on her, because it made me like realize that like people out there are going to F with you if you have it or not. You need to learn that like not everybody's meant to F with you. Just let it go. If they don't want to be your friend anymore because you have diabetes, then they were never a friend in the beginning. They were never liked me in the beginning, and we were never supposed to be friends in the beginning. So when nobody looked at me weird, everybody was just all friendly and nice, stuff like that. So going into middle school, I ended up moving right back at square one. I was nervous. I didn't know how people would feel here about me having diabetes, so I kept it on the low. Appointments and stuff like that, it was awful. I know that I disappointed my parents a lot throughout the process. Like, I would lie to them and tell them that like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and stuff like that. But when we get to the appointment, like different things would be seen and stuff like that. So I know that I had them looking a little confused and like not knowing what the heck was going on, because I'm telling them one thing and like the receipts aren't adding up and stuff like that. During middle school and kind of elementary school, I was on a pump, and a pump is this little a little meter type thing that can calculate all your stuff that you need to do, stuff like that. It's very helpful for people who don't know how to calculate carbs. It's very helpful for somebody who is always on the go a lot. I didn't like it though, and at a younger age, there was multiple reasons why, because I wasn't telling people about me and my diabetes. And with a pump, you have sights, and I wish I had some still, but obviously I don't, because I'm off of it now. But there's these little sights, and they're like, why? You can design it up to be cute. So like you can have diabetes in style, like pump sights. They're called sights, pump sights, whatever you want to call them. And they're like maybe this big. or you put them on your arm. We put them wherever you have fat at, because that's where you want the insulin to go in, through the fat. Mine on my arms. I'm trying to see if you still see scarring. Probably not. My stomach, my thighs, and then I really didn't like that, but you can put it on your butt, and I feel like that is the one spot that hurts the most. And you don't put it like right in the smack dab middle of your butt, because obviously you sit on your butt. You gotta put it at the top of it. The pump, it can be connected to your meter, which your meter is where you check your sugar at. So you can connect it. You can connect your meter in your pump, and every time you check your sugar would go directly onto your pump. Where if your sugar is high, it will calculate how much you need to take for your sugar to go down. It's just so much explaining and stuff like that, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through it all, because it's just so much about the pump in itself. But obviously, when you first get the pump, you put in all your information that you need and stuff like that, so that it can actually work to your ability and work to help you. Okay, so again, like if your sugar was high, you would put it in, and then you would press a couple of buttons, and then it will come in, and it will come to your body, and then your sugar should go down. If your sugar actually don't go down, and that's when you probably need to go to the hospital. When you're about to eat and you check your sugar, it will obviously go through your pump, and you will put in. You don't have to calculate. Here's your thing for the picture. But a lot of people who aren't into like carb counts and fat stuff like that, most people don't look at this. They just pick something up and eat it. Most people don't have to look at it. No problem. I wouldn't look at it if I didn't have to, but I do. So on the back of it, it has all the stuff, all the fats that you need, nutritious fats that you need, and I would look at the total carb. The real name for it is carbohydrates, but nobody wants to say carbohydrates. Total carb count. So I would look at it, and the carb count for this is 16 grams. And then I would look at my juice. So you would look at it, and it would be 59, right? Okay, you add 59 and 16 together. You would count all that up to give you 75, and then you would put 75 into the pump, and the pump would calculate it by, which needs to divide it by units. My units has been 5 forever, for the longest. Divide 75 times 5, which would get me 15, and that's how much I would take. So the pump, I wouldn't have to think of all that. All I would have to do is just add 2 snacks together, put the 75 into the meter, into the pump, and then the pump would calculate it all itself. All you gotta do is just press that start button, and then it will start coming in. The insulin will start coming into your body, and that's how a pump works. But me being on the pump lasted until like around 9th grade year, high school. Due to the fact that I was not doing what I was supposed to do, my doctor thought it would be dangerous for me to still be on a pump and not doing what I was supposed to be doing, so he took me off. I was happy, so he took me off the pump, and I went into shots, and I was taking something like this, y'all, this little light, and this is called Novolog, this is what I would take every time I eat something. This is the long lasting, which is Novolog. And you have to take it like, so if I was to take it at 12 o'clock in the morning, I would take it at 12 o'clock at night, so that it's never like, it's continuous to be in my system like that. Because y'all, if you do not take this, like, it will affect you. Like, so in high school, I was more willing to tell people that I had diabetes. Nobody looked at me weird. The people. So yeah, I told my friend, I told my friends that like I had diabetes. They asked what that was, which I had no problem with it, because not everybody's gonna know what diabetes is. So I told them, it's when your pancreas doesn't work or whatever. For me, I told them how it worked for me, which is my pancreas doesn't work. So it was like, oh, okay, it is what it is. I mean, obviously didn't say that, but it was like, oh, okay, whatever. So like that. So I was just like, okay. I feel like there's a cure for diabetes. Yes, I do. I do feel like there is a cure. I feel like it's maybe a dangerous cure, because it's maybe like putting like not electricity, but like technology into your body for your pancreas to work. So do I feel like it's kind of dangerous? Yeah, but I do feel like there is a cure out there. I don't feel like there's any like natural cure, because like I'm sitting here thinking about it, like what's something natural that can help your pancreas make enough insulin for me to not completely get off of taking shots, because I feel like I will always need a backup just in case, but help me not have to take so many shots. I mean, there might be something, but I kind of don't feel like there is. Technology wise, yeah, I feel like maybe it's like something that you have to rechange after a certain amount of time, stuff like that. And just imagining, like, even if it's monthly, just like going to a doctor and having them cut open or whatever they need to do into your body to put something else, to put another case in there. So I feel like that could be kind of dangerous, and the buildup of it all will basically end up turning bad. Would I do something like that? No, I would. No, I would, because of what I just said. I would rather just have to deal with taking shots, because I feel like I'd rather just take shots than having to go every monthly, and it may not even be monthly. It may like be every 2 weeks, because you never know. So I would rather just have to take shots than like go and get somebody to reopen my stomach or whatever they have to do again and again, just to do something that can easily be done as sticking yourself with a little needle. There is a cure, but I feel like, because if you decide that you want to cure people after they pay a certain amount of money, like, they're gone. There's no need for them to be. There's no need for them to see a doctor. So you paid, and that's where there aren't really many cures out here, because like, if you think about it, even if it costs even if it did cost a lot of money, people who would like sell it for a lot of money are obviously money hungry. So just getting 10 people to pay $1 million for a cure is not enough for them. Like, why would I just allow 10 people to pay when I can allow 1,000 people to continue to come to me to get treated for something that's not treatable? I do think there is a cure. I do think people found a cure, but because people are so money hungry and don't have a heart, won't come out with it, because now will take money away from their pockets. That is it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit that sub button to become part of the Squad Gang crew. And until next time, I will see y'all later.